Hello, today we're going to make some very quick fork spiders. These are just a very quick craft to make a spider that you can use for decorations over Halloween. Normally when we do crafts we want to spend a lot of time making everything beautiful and made to last, but sometimes we want something that's just very quick and simple and that we're not too worried about throwing away afterwards, because we don't always have the space to store lots of crafts for different events. So these little spiders are based on a pom-pom, and I'm sure that most of you are used to making pom-pom with cardboard, or these are plastic pom-pom makers. You can buy them in hobby shops and pound shops, all different designs and types to make little pom-poms, but they do take quite a while and quite a lot of wool to wind round. So these ones are just going to be made very, very quickly using a fork, obviously some wool or yarn. This is just an ordinary double knit that you can buy quite cheaply, or you may have some already that you can use. I'm just using black, but you can use any colour you like. If you're going to put eyes on, you'll need something that will work as eyes. I'm using these, which are the holes. When you use a hole punch to make a hole, these are just the pieces that are left over, and I just thought it was a good quick way to get some eyes. And obviously you'll need something to stick the eyes on with, so glue of your choice, but today I'm actually going to use these little sticky dots, which you won't be able to probably see. There's a little dot on there, little glue dot, just because it's going to be quicker. So how you need to start is to cut a strand of your wool, and you want to cut it so that it's goes through your fork double and is long enough for you to just hold down with your hand whilst you're doing the winding. This is the legs, so it doesn't matter, they're going to be too long at the moment, but we're going to trim them down. And you want 4 pieces all together to make the 8 legs. And you just take 2 pieces and put them in the space on the fork on that side, and the other 2 pieces through the fork on the other side, and you're just going to hold them down. And then you're just going to wind wool around the fork to make the body. Now, depending on how you wind the wool, depends what sort of a spider shape you end up with. So if you wind it quite evenly, and I'll show you in a minute what I mean, quite evenly, you get a spider that's sort of this shape. So a sort of a, I don't know if you can see that very well, sort of a sideways on spider. If you wind the spider so that it's fatter in the middle of your winding, you get more of a long ways spider. I don't know if you can see the difference between the two. Maybe if I put them down side by side. You can see that one spider is wider that way and one spider is longer. So experiment with how you do the winding. to get the different shapes. So I'm just going to unravel some wool, just a moment, so that it's easier when I'm winding. So holding your spider legs and your fork in your hand like this, and your fork is upright, you just want to get your yarn or your wool and you just want to wind it around the fork. Now you don't want to wind it too tightly because that'll cause you problems in a minute. And you want to wind a sort of a square, so it's as wide this way as it is this way. So just keep winding backwards and forwards. Keep going. And as I say, you can either wind it into a flat shape, and so it's even, so you can see it's even across the whole there, or you can wind it so that it's got a bit more in the middle. And obviously you can do it quicker than this. I'm just trying to do it a little bit more slowly so you can see what I'm doing. So you're looking to get a sort of a thickish amount. And depending, this is a double knit wool. So obviously if you're using a thicker yarn, it's going to be, it's quite difficult to show you because my hands are in the way all the time. And then when you think you've got enough, you can just snip it off. Now, you want to get one pair of legs. Let's see that I've picked up the right hand side, and you want to just, if you can, bring it through the middle. Did you see that? So through the middle one. And then you want to, I'll have to put it down a minute, and then you want to tie that both strands together as tightly as you can. And then again, as tightly as you can. And just leave those to one side. You now want to do the same with the other two. which are on your left hand side, but this time you want to go through the middle again, because you want the two strands to go as close to the other two strands as you can possibly get them. But this time I'm going to turn the fork over and just even up the legs a little bit, and I'm going to tie it again as tight as I can in a little knot, but as much as possible try and get it as close to the original place that you tied. And again, do a double knot. So now you should have it very secure with 4 strands on this side and 4 strands on the other side. Now you're just going to slip it off of your fork, and being very, very careful not to cut to the legs at the moment. You want to cut through the fold on each side of the shape. And you want to cut through all of the layers, but obviously not through the middle bit where you've knotted it. Just check that I've cut through all the layers. Yeah, you can see there. That's 1/2, and then again, making sure that all the legs are well out, well out of the way. You're going to snip through the folds. On the other side. And again, you should have that nice sort of pom-pom effect. So what I usually do now is just give it a bit of a roll in my hands, just to get a good shape, and find where my legs are. Then you just need to decide I have no idea why, but I seem to have 4 legs on one side and 5 on the other. I have no idea how that happened. I suspect that's where I had a stray piece of wool that's just come adrift. There we are. It's only got 4 legs on each side now. So then I'm just going to snip the rest. It's not like this when the professionals do it, is it? Love it. And I'm just going to snip the legs on that side too. Now, if you want to, you can tidy your spider up. You can primp it and, you know, cut off the bits so it's a bit neater. Or you can leave it quite untidy looking, like mine is. So then all that's left to do is actually pop a pair of eyes on it. And as I say, this is just a very simple little circle of paper that you can just stick it on a glue dot. Get another one. Stick it on a glue dot. Peel them off. And just stick them on. I find that they look best if they're placed quite close together. But obviously the choice is yours. And there you have it. As I say, that probably took a little bit longer to demonstrate than they actually take to do. So have a go, see what you think. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you do make some, please post up some pictures. Thank you.